Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Yes, it's me, Graham Moore, Daddy Dragon, otherwise known as the biggest pain in the arse to the British that's been known since, I don't know, who was the last pain in the arse to the British? Was it the French or was it the Spanish? I mean, it weren't for the English, we'd all be speaking Spanish now. I just listened to a song, it made me laugh. Do you want me to play the song? If I played the song, you'd be laughing your head off, right? I'm going to wait for a few people to come on board. The problem I've got with playing songs now is this one's going out to YouTube as well, unless I can cancel YouTube. YouTube's a pain in the arse. It's not even worth having it on there. I'm putting the odd thing on there, so it just restricts what I can do because it will play up and do things in the background, which I don't like. So don't forget, let's do the housekeeping. Hit the like button. We are now at 7,000, or well in excess of 8,000. But on this channel, 7,910k. Right, so don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, really important if you want to know real news, alternative views. And trust me, it's not really an alternative view. I'm just telling you the truth, and it's getting out rather than being suppressed. Also, hit the like button, crucially important. Let's see if our resident trolls come back, and I think I know who it is. 23 so far. Hit the like button, really important. If you're watching on catch up, hit the like button, very important. And also sharing. So spend a couple of minutes, get the Earl, send it out, hit the share button, put it on Telegram, put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter, put it on everything that you can, right? Because the only way that this is getting out now is you're the audience, right? And everyone keeps saying to me, thank you, Graham, you're doing a great job and all that. I'm not, right? This is what you're doing. I am just a mouthpiece for all of us. And I happen to love the law, constitutional law, English law, the real common law, and the common law constitution. So I'm just going to say a big thank you to someone out there at the moment, which is Middlesex Man. Because some time ago, do you remember I was after a book, a particular book, and I got it and it was stolen from my letterbox. Well, he went out and bought another copy for me and he left it with Deanne, and I've picked it up from Deanne and I'm going out on a boat to read this. It's only a small book, right? You can get a copy of this PDF, Hamlin Lectures, right? But it's Constitutional Fundamentals, Sir William Wade. And in this, he actually tells you, and this is a true legal historian, right? A proper person. On this channel, you can go back and watch a full 2.5 hour video of him interviewing Lord Denning. The point being, this guy really does know what he's doing, and there's some fantastic stuff in this, right? But one of the things he says is that Parliament is not sovereign. The Constitution is sovereign. And the real Constitution, it's all in this book. He tells you, talks to you, and you understand it. It was written, the lecture is for lay people. It isn't for legal professionals. So it's an easy to understand booklet, right? So William Wade, fantastic. And then on the back, so William Wade, QC, so Coins Council, LLD, FBA, formerly Master of Gonville and Caius College, Cambridge. The 32nd series of Hamley's lectures, delivered in May 1980, addressed some of the key issues and difficulties facing British Constitution. Such as fair representation of the electorate in Parliament, which is what we're doing now, the problem of entrenching a Bill of Rights and the use of the powers of the executive and the judiciary. As the revised edition appears, it is clear that these issues are still relevant and controversial as they were when Constitutional Fundamentals was first published. Recent examples of the trends then examined have now been added to the text of the original lectures, whilst their original tone and scope of argument are retained. The classic contribution to the debate on the future of the Constitution has been revised at a time of continuing public discussion and disquiet. The author's thought-provoking criticisms of our historic institutions and his proposals for reform cannot fail to interest everyone concerned, whether as a lawyer, student or layman, with the state of our society and our system of government. Published under the auspices of the Hamlin Trust, 1989. So there it is, a little booklet. And again, it's got all case law, it's got all different bits and pieces in it. But this is a fantastic little booklet. And I will be reading this, literally, out on my super yacht, which is currently being readied for me by Captain Tim. He's probably saying, you piss-taking bastard, right? But when we come out, and as soon as I get there tomorrow, right, evidently the dinghy, I call him my Uber dinghy taxi, right? He's going to be waiting for me. He's going to go, I've got to put the gear on the thing in case I fall off somewhere, right? He's going to be taking me straight out, and there's a little bar that we go in, and we're going to go in that bar, and I've got a German friend, a Yorkshireman in there, a German, Tim, who's sort of a quasi-Yorkshireman / New Zealander / God knows what else he is. But he's got a beard, so he looks like a pirate, right? And there's a couple of kids that have come out there with another lady that we know who's joined him, who's drove out there on a camper van. We're going to try and get the camper van put on a boat and then take the boat out to see, just say, come and get it. But there you go. You never know. Weirdest things have happened. Good evening all, just in from the garden. Yes, and it is Middlesex Day today. So happy Middlesex, right? Because the British eliminated it, which they weren't allowed to do. Now, the other great book I did show you last night is this one, Reading Law, The Interpretation of Legal Text, Antonio Scalea, Brian A. Garner. It's a great book. You should read it. You'll learn a lot from it. It's very, very interesting read, right? And again, it's just all part of the law library here, which is at your disposal. So I've had a few people asking me, can you help out this? Can you help out that? One lovely lady has sent me a message, and the first line was, I'm a living man, woman, blah, 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 blah. I sent her back and said, I can't help you. If you've put any of... She's one in mind that everyone's blanking on. She's sending these emails. She's sending different things to the council and whatever else in the back. She's got serious problems. And I said, as soon as you put that on, that's it. They've been it, right? They won't work. They won't even read past the first line, right? And a judge will do the same. So don't do it. It's as simple as that. Don't do it, right? And what I put in that email to that lady, again, with the greatest respect to her, I said, go and ask the people who taught you that line to go and help you. Don't ask me, because you've already fucked your case up. If you've put anything in there with that reference in it, you've lost your case. Because anyone reading it will dump it straight in the bin. Even if you was perfect on the law all the way through, you've lost your case, right? Because they won't even entertain you. It's as simple as that. And I'm being nice to people. I'm not trying to be aggressive, nasty, big-headed or anything like that. It's just, listen, I do the Constitution and the real law. I'm not interested in anything else. Are we all with me? So don't forget, hit the like button. I need to see the like button well in excess of 100. I need you to share as much as possible. And I need you to subscribe. We're coming close on this channel to, and it now says 7,910 subscribers. So I think we've got another 90 to go before we click over. And when we do click over, we've already got 500 on the other. So we're well in excess of 8,000 subscribers. But we've got to try and get this channel up to in excess of 10,000 within a few months. I'm telling everyone now, they are going to take down YouTube. It is going to happen. And when you do, we're already in a great position on this platform, which is freedom of speech. As a platform, right? but you are given opportunities as the content provider and the moderators to keep the shit out, right? Which is exactly what we do. So again, everyone out there, Jim Vetset, evening DD and Patriots, how you doing, my friend? Luke 1956, and again a big shout out once again to Middlesex Man for purchasing and hand delivering this book to Deanne for me to go and pick up, and I am now got a week sitting on a deck in the sun admiring all the lovely female bodies going past, well, hopefully, and I will be reading this, Constitutional Fundamentals, Sir William Wade. Right, and again, you can get the free version of that by going to Exeter website where it's all on there and download it. Let's have a look. Everyone out there, happy Middlesex Day to everyone. So happy Sex Day. Sex Day. Did I say Sex Day? The fucking chance of being gone. Good evening, Wishlam. Sean Tyre, how you do? I see the Telegraph claimed the Ukrainian arrested, reference to Starmer bombs, had an English flag in his... Oh, fucking hell. They would say that, wouldn't they? They hate the English, but the English hate them, so it ain't a problem. British is British. And let me tell you something. I see something else today. There is a group, I've sent it out to someone, can't remember who I sent it to, but Alberta in Canada are really making a full play for independence from Canada. Guess what their flag is? The English flag. I was like, go on, son, give it to them. Right? So no one's got a problem with the English except the British and the federal governments, because the federal type government is a Roman Empire expansion. Right? And that is exactly what Trump is fighting against. So again, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to share, and don't forget to subscribe. The more you care, the more you share. We're now at 60 already. Good. Well done. Right. And don't forget, tomorrow I'm back on a plane, and I will be back to my super yacht where Captain Tim will be awaiting, and we'll be straight round to the bar. Right, where we'll be having a super bock pint for about £1.20. Bosh, right? And when we come out of this bar, we try and get back on the dinghy, right? All the people come out of the bars to look, right? Because me and him are singing. Right? What we're going to do with the drunken sailor? What we're going to do with the drunken sailor? And then the speedboat goes out and it's going all over the road. Oh, road. You know what I mean. It is funny. Not so funny if you fall in, though. It's hard enough swimming when you're sober. Right, let me have a look. Keeping okay. Let's have a look there. Anyone else out there? Johnny Espinal, how you doing? Tracy Trues, very good evening to you. Good evening to everyone. And I see the lovely DN today and my favourite pair of dogs. But two boxers. One of them just sits there like that, looking at me with its tongue out. I said, that's all right. Don't want to bite me, do it? No, it always sits there with its tongue out. British Columbia says he's predicted to follow Alberta independence. That's what we want to see. And I will show you all that in a couple of minutes. And then there's probably a video I'll get banned if I showed it on anywhere else. But Stalingrad 1944 will do. Thank you, Tracy. Let's have a look. Right. A message. So tonight's show is about what it is that we've done. And I think I showed last night some pictures of everything so everyone understands what's going on. So first of all, the Elections Petition Office is a specialist part of the King's Bench Division, right? King's Bench Division is the common law, right? It's the real common law. It's the nearest we've got at the moment to the common pleas. The common pleas was the common law. Common pleas was absorbed into the King's Bench Division. It is separate from the administrative law, which is the Roman law jurisdiction shit, right? Which we're not about that. So it's a proper common law call. So I've got some questions here. Hi, Graham. Some of us, including Paul, gathered for our Friday pub chat. I'm just making sure. Did you go to the other pub and not the pub that said we don't want any English in here? Friday pub chat and were wondering if it's possible to explain a few things to the next appropriate full English show. For example, the trial court. Will they commandeer a function room somewhere? Yes, they will. So what the person has said to me from Runcorn is we haven't got a court in Runcorn and Hillsby constituency, unless there's there may be a magistrates court. If there is, they'll commandeer that. But they can take any area. It's got to be in the constituency, and they can come along and commandeer an area or a function room, and they will set it up as a court. Normally, so they send 2 High Court judges from the King's Bench. So off they go with their wigs and gowns in there, and so everyone knows it is that type of court. They don't have to wear the wigs and gowns, but they can, if they think people are not taking it seriously, to go bump, bump, and they'll sit there and say, we are High Court judges. So you get 2 of them, but you also get the registrar, and the registrar is a Supreme Court judge. So there's 3 of them, right? What they do is they convene the court. It's known as a special court. And this is a special petition. And this goes back in ancient law, right? But it is now covered by the Representation of the People Act 1983, but it's an ancient right of the people. So what they do is they commandeer that. Is it an open court? Most definitely. What we really want is anyone who voted for me, right, in Runcorn and Hillsby to come along there. So if you've got 200, 300, 400 people to turn up and say, well, we voted for these people. He didn't get, and all of a sudden you've got hundreds of people there saying, we all voted for this man, and this is the reason. Like, or whatever, you ain't got to give a reason, but you turn up there. This is about consent to be governed. This is about your vote and your right to that vote being counted correctly against the person that you. It's about universal suffrage. So you've got passive, which is me, and active, which is you. That's where the universal suffrage, and it's a human right. So for them to interfere with that is completely and utterly illegal. It's a human rights abuse. Have I covered that enough? Just give me an indication whether you think that is a good explanation. So they will commandeer somewhere. It has to be in the Runcorn and Hillsby constituency, right? Because it's specific to that constituency, and it is the High Court travelling to you. So if you think of this in the old law, it's like the assize courts coming to you, and you. So what they're doing is representing the king, and they're saying, okay, so what's your grievance? And this is, and then you're telling them what your grievance is, right? So I'm not reading any messages off the screen at the moment. I'm reading from my other screen. What is a directions hearing? So normally you get a plea in directions, and that means you sit there and you say not guilty, and then the judge will turn around and say, right, this is what we're going to do now. This isn't a guilty, not guilty thing. This is a petition, particularly of the election court. So you still you need a directions hearing. What does that do? Well, the directions hearing, which I've already applied for, so I forced it straight into that arena. So they'll all be scrabbling the other side because they haven't got any time to play about now, right? And this is a very serious thing, right? And it's cost us so far £6,107, right? That's without the election costs itself, right? So this has already cost us the best part of 6, 7, 8, let's say 9 grand. I don't know what it works out to in total. That's what I mean. It ain't Mickey Mouse money. But what happens at a direction hearing, the judge will call me in particularly and say, right, we're aiming for this date in Runcorn and Hillsby. We are going to commandeer this area. Is that good enough for you? And I'd say, yeah. And then he'll put it out. He'll just tell the others, we are making this date and you all need to be available. And you need to have all the evidence to refute what Mr. Moore, a candidate, is saying. Because there is a full trial. That is a full trial of what's gone on, right? So there you go. That's what a direction hearing will set the date of the trial, and tell everyone what they need to do. So they'll tell me what I need to do, they'll tell the respondents what they need to do, and they also notify, which I have done today, the Department of Public Prosecutions, because when you serve this writ, you must also serve it on the Department of Public Prosecutions, because they are an interested party if there's anything illegal happened, including suspected fraud. Because they'll be there listening to this, and if they hear through that evidence there's obviously something seriously wrong, they will say this needs to be prosecuted. So they will then issue to Cheshire Police, which I think is wrong. They'll probably have to do it to another police constabulary. We need to make arrests in for example, the local council, and potentially people, all of the delivery people of the leaflets who didn't deliver them. That's a criminal offence. So if it is proved, and we are proving that they didn't get these leaflets, and we've already done that with statements of truth, etc., that's where it comes in. Right, so what is the directions herein of research on people? Is for any ideas on timescales? Well, I've told them I'm away next week. We think the directions herein will be any time soon after that. So it could be the week after. So within 2 weeks, we think there will be a directions hearing. This is going to be bang, 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 bang. That has to be pretty lively because of what it is. There's timescales. We're well within the timescales. Everything's been issued and served today, just to make sure you're aware of that. So the documents that I sent a picture of, right? So when you serve via the Royal Mail, it must be by recorded delivery, next day delivery. So there's each ticket. One for Sarah Pochin, MP, to the House of Commons. One to Emma Gilthorpe, head of the Royal Mail. She's got to respond now. She's going to have to be in court. All of these people have got to come to court, right? One to the head of Cheshire Police Constabulary, so the Chief Constable, which is, I think, Mark Roberts. One to the returning officer, which is Stephen Young. He has to be there. And again, he's going to be directly questioned by me when he gets on the stand, right? And again, I'm fully entitled to. I'm going to question all of these people on the stand, right? So they're going to be given evidence. It's going to be me cross-examining them, right? So just if you ever thought that the common law, the real common law, right, was bullshit, you're now going to see all of these people. So you're talking about the head of a corporation, Royal Mail, who is operating under a royal warrant. And she is responsible, by the way, Emma Gilthorpe, her father is a top Tory peer, right? So if you ever want to see something incestuous, it's there. And that one is to the head of the Department of Public Prosecutions, right? So everyone has been served with the notices as they should be. Today, I received the witness statement from a person who is a statistician and he is a member of the Royal Statistical Society. He has said, with various references, that it's 1,000,000 to 1, not 40,000 elections to 1. He said this is why, and he explains it, and then he says that the oddity of 50 votes and then 50 votes in 2 in, and then another election that was in Chorley where I got 1,007 votes. It's obvious that something has gone on, and the fact that it's in 50 bundles clipped, because that's how they count the bundles. They put them in 50 and put the clips in. So it's just everyone understands that. Evening Spike, everyone out there, everyone listening. So was there anything else? A couple of weeks. Do you think they will call witnesses to testify? Yeah. So there will be different people from these various people, including the police officer, that said he didn't want to investigate, and the police officer that was asking me for all the details of our action days or our campaigning days. One of the questions will be, did you email any of the other groups? And if the answer is no, you say, so why was you discriminating against the English? And he's got to answer all that. He's also got to answer why he said, as a police constable, you don't report election interference to me when he's in the election police, if you want to call it that. That's his job. And every single police constable in the country under a general warrant, every single person that's carries that warrant, his job is to receive any report of crime, right? And investigate it and take it further. And he did none of those things. So therefore, the chief constable is going to be there. So at the directions hearing, they will say to me, what witnesses do you require? I will say, I want every single Royal Mail person, including the manager of them people, to be cross-examined by me. I want Emma Gillythorpe and as the head of that company to also be cross-examined, and there is a number of managers and the actually deliverers of, in other words, the postman women themselves, right? Because they need to answer the questions. Why is it all these people are saying they never received the leaflet? And again, at the count itself. So one of the things that I'll be putting to various people, I won't say too much about that because there's some things that are going to smack them in the side of the head pretty badly. Any ideas on do you think they will call witnesses to testify? Yes. Most of the time, all of our witnesses that have made statements of truth, they can do two things. They can ask for all of you to attend the court, in which case they have to make arrangements if you're disabled, if you're this, if you're that. And on the other side of it, all you're doing is saying, I never received this leaflet, right? So you say, okay, testify. Cool. Input. Do you think in person? So what they would do is, if the other side say we want evidence in chief, right? Because he's local, it shouldn't be a problem, really. And it's nothing to worry about. You'll have me there, right? And it'll be me questioning you, and the other side will start questioning you. There's not. The statements of truth are so simple. It's easy, right? There's nothing to worry about whatsoever. Not only that, you get to go for another pint of Guinness with me, right? In person. And can you show the non-delivered leaflets again, just to distinguish in people's minds between them and the ones they themselves delivered? Yeah, there was two different types of leaflets. They look similar. Message is different. Yeah, no, the message is completely different. Hope this makes sense. Well done for all, and you have achieved, and a great week next week. Thank you very much. Hopefully, but I'll still be working next week. Someone's just sent me another video, which I can't watch now. Let me have a look at that. I don't like the driving swim. I can't see that. Let's have a look. If you don't like the driving swim, Tim's telling me he's watching the show from Portugal on my fucking yacht. Behave yourself. You might be out of a job tomorrow, son. Piger, first time I've heard it. The angry bootneck. Right, so I'm going to probably play that again. I might play a song for you in a minute. But before I do, I need to show you what these leaflets look like. So the ones that should have been delivered by the Royal Mail look like this. Let me have a look. Put it on the screen. Share. Hopefully you can see that on your screen. Let me pull it down so you can see it in its entirety. Now, it looks like the handout. So I've got like two leaflets. One is a handout. So people like everyone that was helping us, well in excess of 50 people, by the way, right, that was helping us in Runcorn and Helsby, and Frogsham, right? We was handing out a different leaflet. But this is the leaflet that should have been posted through your door by the post office, right? So I'm just going to put that on the screen, and then I'm going to show you the back part of it. So the front part of it, by election, our pledge to you: reclaim your English rights. We fight for you. Pensioners, disabled and vulnerable, crushed by British oligarchs and ruling class. Our children raped and tortured Farage vowed to don khakis and pick up a rifle, but he surrendered to Islam and the EU. Controlled opposition. Your English constitution's hidden by them, born of English parents, protects us, will enforce it, deport all illegals, asylum seekers, and foreigners, right? Meaning foreign criminals, right? Ending ruling class betrayal, no whips, just the truth. The oligarchs and ruling class bury your rights. Flood us with outsiders, and Farage bends the knee while our communities starve. With no whips, we represent you. Void their British acts of union. Revive English safeguards and kick them out. Our families first. Defend our land. English law, people's army. Foreigners drain our national health service and housing while our weakest suffer. Your English constitution stops this. Deport them all. Secure borders, save services, and bring back the English militia. The real people's army, honoured with memorials across England and still in Northern Ireland. The English have the right to keep and bear arms, a constitutional right. Claim it. And there, officially, it has to have the 1st of May 25, Graham Moore, promotion, etc., everything on there. And then what I'm going to do is take you to the next one, which is the rear of that leaflet, I think. There it is. So the rear of that leaflet is this one. This is the postal leaflet. So you've got it on the screen. Now, if you haven't had it delivered, you're not going to see what it said. So on there, I'm just showing you. On the back, it says this, and there's some crucial points to this. Defending your rights, and then you've got the Constitution is the solution, the English Constitution Party and the Christian flag. And then what it says is justice for the victims of rape and torture. Prosecutions, not inquiries. We have the evidence. Let the jury decide. Vote Graham Moore, English Constitution Party, Runcorn and Hillsby constituency by-election. Our pledge to you, right? Justice. I'm just going to make sure you can all see this. This is what they did not want to put through your letterbox. 45,400 of these leaflets telling you what the real law is, right? 1. Justice for the English. We demand the prosecution of all state officials under Section 134 of the Criminal Justice Act 1988 for torture. Those who acquiesced, consented, omitted or acted to cause the rape of white working class English girls, primarily by Pakistani Muslim men, must face trial. Not just a public inquiry. Section 6 mandates a life sentence upon a guilty verdict, with no judicial discretion. Life means life. State officials include MPs, lords, judges, Crown Prosecution Service staff, ministers, prime ministers, police and council officials. Can you understand why they didn't want 45,400 people to see this leaflet, right? Because it tells you what it's all about. This is the reality, and this is what they stopped the public in Runcorn finding out, that there was a party actually promoting this, right? 2, detain and deport. We will detain and deport all illegals, regardless of arrival date, deport all foreign criminals, including those of constituent nations of the UK. Scots, Irish, Welsh. We are nations with our own communities and culture. What do I mean by that? Well, simply, this isn't a racial issue. If you're Scottish, Welsh or Irish or any other nationality of the constituent nations of Great Britain, right, under the United Kingdom, and you commit an offence in England, we will send you back to Scotland and you will be banished from England forever. We don't want you here. It's nothing to do with race. It's about our culture and the rule of law. Your voice, not party whips. The English Constitution Party has no whips. We answer solely to the people of Runcorn and Hillsby, representing your grievances and safeguarding your civil liberties as Englishmen, women and children. I have been asked to stand by the team in Runcorn and Hillsby as the leader and expert in English constitutional rights. We have a constitution, we have constitutional rights, and you have been lied to by the state educators. Claim your rights and safeguard your future grandchildren's rights. Elect an English constitutionalist. Churchill walked away from mainstream politics in 1924. He stood as an English constitutionalist and won his seat. 10 of them stood as English constitutionalists in 1924 as independents, and this is an independence run. And 6 of them won their seats. And that's when people really know what it was all about. So I just want to make sure that you understand that. So that was the leaflet that should have been delivered. What else you'll see on that? It tells you, so if I promote this all the way up, right, there's something really important that I want you to see. Can you see without, I'll have to come off of that. Hang on, let me get off of that a sec. I'll have to drop my camera if I can. I don't think I can while I'm live. What you can't see behind that, let me see if I can pull it up a bit light further. Nope, that's made it worse. That might be better. Can you see there, right there, right? Can you see that? Election communication. By law, that has to be on there. And what that does is it tells the post office this is an election communication and you must post it by law. That was on 45,400 leaflets that cost us a lot of money. By not posting them, they've done a number of things, but they've broken the law. And that will be coming up in there. So if Quentin is watching, I need you to send me a message if you can. So there it is. Let me now go back to my original thing. Right. Let's just see if I have... no. No. Return to media. I don't know what that means. Return to media. Discard message. I don't know what that means. Discard. Right. She hasn't got an effing clue. No, she probably hasn't, is the answer. I was just saying so. She's eating fish and chips. I'll show you this image because it's on the screen. All right. So just to let you know, there is a... someone sent this out today, right? So I'm going to show you that. It is. She's been described as the Iron Lady, a Margaret Thatcher. I don't think so. Iron Lady munching through a light snack. This is how Reform Party UK ladies get through a busy Friday. Just to let you all know, right? She ain't having pie and mash. She's having very posh fish and chips, and she ain't even got mushy peas. She's got normal peas, right? But she's got big tomato sauce there. I just want to make sure everyone is clear on this, right? She's been served today. And when I see that picture, I thought I'd just send her an image of the actual petition writ. So it's been sent by email just to tell them that it's on its way in the Royal Mail. So hopefully she'll have something to think about over the weekend. There you go. Not that I want to spoil her weekend, of course. Let me have a quick look. And let's make sure I'm looking for someone that I have to bring up the rest of that, right? So, and you can now and can show the non-delivered. So I've just showed you the non-delivered leaflets. These are questions from our support base in Runcorn and Hillsby, right? So this questions and answers session is for them, right? To understand what's going on. And can you show the non-delivered leaflets again? So I've just done that. Just to distinguish in people's minds between them and the ones they delivered themselves. Yeah. They're different. There was a handout leaflet, which is what I call our campaigning, right, leaflet. So we'd be handing it out to people, and people would be posting it through a few letterboxes, which they did. But the main post office drop is a different leaflet. It was designed, so whilst it looks pretty standard in the way that it looks, the message was completely different, right? They look similar and different. Hope this makes sense. Well done for all you've achieved, and great week next week. Thank you very much. I do intend to have a great week next week. All right, that's it. One of the things that I will tell you is UNN Networks, that David Clues. I just can't work the geezer out. He's trying to tell people that he's alternative news, and he's not. He's just repeating the mainstream media. Sean is a different kettle of fish, right? Sean Finch? He's a lovely fella, right? I don't know why. He gets involved with him. Sean Finch, right? Listen, it ain't for me to say anything, but he knows about this writ, and again, he doesn't seem to comprehend the element of law. He doesn't seem to understand that you have rights. That's it. Unfortunately for him, the petition office, election petition office of the King's Bench, that does fully understand it, and they're fully trained in election law, right? So we'll see what happens. One of the things, so you can get three options. First options, if they could annul the whole election, if they believed there was improprieties from the Royal Mail. And they could also issue against them punitive damages, which they could pay to us, and it is unlimited damages, right? So they could turn around to the police, they could turn around to the Royal Mail, and they could turn around to Halton Council and say, you must now pay, because we're going to make a point of this, £20 million to Graham Moore as a candidate. And that should give them plenty of money to run in other elections, right? I'm not suggesting they would do that, but they could do that. In other words, it's unlimited. There is no maximum amount on punitive damages, and the King's Bench division can, and I've put that in the writ, right? That's the first thing. So he can annul the whole election and say, do it again. At this time, you will do it properly, right? Or he could annul, adjust, he could agree that there's been offences and still award punitive damages, but he could say, we'll just annul the count. We'll have the count in a separate area of England, completely independent. Take all of them by chain of custody to another area, get them reprinted and counted, and individually counted. So they break all the bundles out and they go through them forensically, which is why the Department of Public Prosecutions is interested, an interested party, because you'll see who the cheat was from that. But he can also, belt and braces, say, I also want you to take this down because I've asked for this, and also be counted in an electronic counting machine, right, which counts into the individual people. So it can be for each candidate. So 15 candidates, it will go bing, 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 bing. That machine counts 1,000 and sorts 1,000 votes a minute. So for 30,000 turnout, in 30 minutes, it's done. Bang, there's your answer. What they then do is compare and this is the point of it. They compare the machine count with the new human count and see how different they are. They will be looking directly to see if it matches the turnout. So we know the turnout is the only thing that's correct so far, we think, right? They will be looking at that, and if they then say, well, the turnout is 2,000 light, that means someone's thrown away ballots. They've binned ballots, just as bad,
right? And then you'll see I mean, if that happens, they'll annul the whole thing, right? So all I'm trying to tell you is they can't hide. And this has never happened before in the way that it's happening now. Robin Tilbrook should have done this years ago. George Galloway should have done this years ago. Everyone who's involved with any form of democratic process needed to do this because they are systematically cheating all over this country. Someone needs to stand up and slap their asses and say, this is what happens when you cheat. And by the way, we are the King's Bench. We want an honest answer. And if we don't get the right return this time, right, we will amend the Representative People's Act 1983, and we will put in that, right, what the offence is, but you will already get people. You could get people going to prison over it. That's how serious it is. It's not a game. It's not a joke, right? And I'm of an age now where I haven't got more. When you stand up and try and be elected as a candidate anywhere, and especially for a member of Parliament, it's a job application. And if there is seen to be discrimination because we're English, right, that is a very, very, very serious thing, right? So again, and I believe we can, and I think it's one of the reasons why David Clue's uninterested, because he's a Scot. And the Scots currently, not all of them, because we've got Scottish members who absolutely agree. We're about self-determination and about a brotherhood of nations going back to the Commonwealth and not a political union, right? It's as simple as that. But it seems that David Clues and others like sucking at the tit of the British, right, which is being funded by the English, right? We've had enough. And especially when you start raping our fucking kids all over this country. At least you've got people now standing up doing something properly, right? Unlike, again, I don't like mentioning it, but unlike certain people like Tommy Robinson. Is that answering enough questions? Let me question, right? There's another question. I can't see. There's a fucking cameras in the way. Let me see if I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll try and raise it. That's it. So if I put 2 dots, it means I'm trying to bring the question above my camera. Question: will Graham be able to watch the count in person? Yeah, of course. And so can all you. So I could say to the court, I want nominated, right, 20 individuals that will come along and be like eyes on, right? And they could turn around and say, we agree, right? We agree that you should be entitled to do this. So each lot, and they'll say, and everyone will come up to us, we will be the governors, right? They'll say, are you happy, right? And then I'll look and see what they do. GB creates 1777 the Act of Union. Right. Any other questions in there? So I'm now talking to anyone out there. Any questions coming in? You're going to have to put the questions to me under either the full English moderators, or I will look and see if there's anything else coming up there. It's going to be a bit harder for me to pull them off the screen here. Right. So, allegedly Steve. How are you getting on with the new website? We need that pinging up as quick as possible, because this is going to be talked about from next week. So really, we want this up and running over the weekend if we can. Allegedly Steve, Tracy, allegedly hello, London Underground, Crown Jewels Music, hello, Meow Mucker, Crown Jewels. I love it when I see him out there. He is proper, mate. I tell you. Proper Liverpudlian. Tuned in while you playing Chelsea. That's dedication. Yeah. Man U playing Chelsea. Big love, Graham. No worries, brother. Thank you very much. And I hope, I'll take it you're supporting Man U. Almost done. I need to have a chat with you. Well, hurry up and have a chat with me then. Mention the chat with the Aussie. Oh, right. Okay. So one of the other things I've done is spoken to a lady in Australia. Tim, see if you can put the messages in there. Just name the people I spoke to so I'll get their names right. And again, I need to show you something else which is really important. Not sure if I showed that or not. Tim has adopted my cigar or cigars. Let me have a look. I'm sure I sent it to someone today. Let me, because I actually put it in there. Someone's put in. So again, there's videos out there already. If you want to go and watch another video, go and watch this one to make sure. And again, I am going to aim to try and get on. And again, I need a tweet retweeted massively, right? So if you're out there, don't do it. Listen, I would, but you've been getting pissed in Portugal. Yeah, we'll try and ring me after the show because I'm stone cold fucking sober. Let me have a look. Mention the chat. Let me have a look. Right, so if anyone knows these names, and I think you will, I had a proper conversation with a couple of people in Australia when I was on the yacht via Tim, Captain Tim, Dawn Kelly and Rod Cullerton, the ex-senator. They're very interested in coming together with us as the Commonwealths as separate nations. And again, something else I need to show you. And it was a fantastic talk that we all had. They was listening. They was taking notes. One of them actually, someone else from Canada actually said, what we need to do is to get people constitutionally literate. And I said, that is a fantastic combination of words. That's exactly what we're doing as the English Constitution Society and the English Constitution Party. But you've got to come together and know what you're doing. So if anyone's heard of them people, we've got Dawn Kelly and Rod Cullerton, the ex-senator. And we'll be talking about a few things there. Let me just see if there's any questions come in. Let me have a quick look at that. I'm not sure what I'm doing with that one. Let me pull that down, pull that down. Let's have a look and see if there's anything coming up on the screen. No, so I'm going to go back to that for a sec. Do you like the driving and swim? Mention chat with Aussie. So again, Dawn Kelly and Rod Cullerton, ex-senator. So there's something else that I need to try and show you. How I can show you, I don't know. I need to go and try and find it. I sent it out this morning, and I said to people need to go and have a look at this. Magna Carta copy miscalculated. That was funny. Did you all know that? Let me have a look. So I've sent that out. I sent it out today. I'm sure I did. My pleasure anytime. No. I don't know. Where did I put it? I put it somewhere. I sent it out today. And it so it's an election fraud one. It's BooTube. Not that one. Looks like you're suppressing the comments. Yep, they are. I sent out a link for everyone to look at. It's really important they see this. Great news for the show. Was pleased to be able to make it. Let me have a look. Where did I send it out? I must have sent it to someone. Let me see if I can go and find it. Who did I send it to? Was it Andy the Gabby Cabby? Oh yeah, very interesting. I'm going to bring that up on the screen, right? So I'm going to breathe this out to you. I'm going to show you it on the screen. I need to go back to my thing. Let's see if I can actually show this to you. This is really important. Let me, without killing myself, or killing the show, I should say. Let me hit that button, right? I'm going to show you something on here. Are you ready for this? This is important, right? David Parker on X. David Parker, Alberta separation hangs on a knife edge. I'm writing this with deep sense of optimism, married to the unshakable knowledge that the coming years will be the hardest of my life. We have crossed the Rubicon with the election of Mark Carney and the announcement yesterday there will be no federal budget this year. We now know that democracy in Canada is dying. I won't even get into the absolute joke that so many of these judicial recounts with elections Canada have been. We don't need to. The truth is so much worse. The Canadian government does not even respect its citizens enough to let their elected representatives review government spending. They are openly ignoring the entire tradition of representative democracy, exactly what they're doing with Runcorn and Hillsby, right? Spending. They openly ignore it, and they have calculated that Canadians will not care. Tragically, they are probably right. Meanwhile, in Alberta, we have a premier who has explicitly said she does not support separation, right? Same as issues we've got. The people want it, the politicians don't. She is actively pressuring her MLAs to order their constituency association not to bring forward any kind of policy about separation at the UCP AGM fall, right? That's why we're so important, right? Because we're pushing this forward. Without going all the way through this, is a very long read, but people need to read it, right? So I'm going to put that out there. It needs a retweet, and you can tell that person we're with him, right? Tell him to contact us, right? You tell him to contact us, right? And what I'm going to do now is show you their flag. It's on the screen as we speak. What do you notice about that? What do you notice about the Alberta flag that they are carrying? By the way, they are freedom fighters, right? I'm not going to say any more, but you can see it, right? What do you notice about their flag? I'm watching the chat now. Tell me what you can see in their flag. Exactly. It's not a British flag, it's an English flag. They know exactly who gave them their constitutional rights. They know exactly who gave them their common law rights. They know exactly what they're fighting over, right? So there it is, right? The English flag is on top. Exactly that. Look at them coming up in this chat. Look at the chat lighting up with the English flags. This is on Rumble, people. Rumble is the only place that allows you to have that to come up on that screen, right? Look at that, right? That's why you need to get out there and retweet that and tell them the English Constitution Party are with them, right? Never surrender. That's it. Look at that. Everyone can see it. And I'm seeing that flag. Show me what you can see in the chat. Show me what you can see. There you go. Please read, share. That's it, right? So that is the Alberta, right, separation flag. And they have chosen the English flag, the English Constitution, the English Constitution and common law rights. They have chosen England to be separated under the Commonwealth, but have the same legal jurisdiction and rights as the English, right? There it is. Now do you understand? We are not on our own. Again, I've already spoken to people out in Australia. I'll be speaking to some of the New Zealanders because they've got some things slightly wrong, not majorly, but they've got some things wrong. You need to get away from the federal Roman system of Britishness and go back to the English Confederacy and the English rights and the English common law. That is what the communists are trying to crush. Right, so there you go. It's on the screen. You can all see it. Right now, that's the flag of Alberta as an independent nation. Just to let you know. Let me stop sharing that. So now I've shown you that. It's really important that you understand what that is. Right. Let me come off of there. Stop sharing. Are you all pleased that you've just seen that? Look at all these coming up there, right? So you understand we're not on our own, people. It's the political ruling class. It's the ruling classes and trying to crush the working class in particular. I'm a normal, everyday working man. I do not believe in communism. I do not believe in fascism. I'm an Englishman. I don't want anything to do with authoritarian government. And I certainly don't want the regulations that are in the way of a free market economy, because England was the people that produced restraint of trade as a doctrine many centuries ago. It was adopted by the Americans, and the Americans, that's why the Americans state, right, there's something called antitrust laws. And the antitrust laws are the version of England's restraint of trade laws. So again, we need to get this stuff up and running, and we need a proper website up and running, which I know allegedly Steve is working on in the background. We need to keep working on our other website, which is English Constitution Society. And again, a message to Lucy. I know you're busy and all that, but we need to start bringing that up and getting that working properly, which I will do. And again, the seminars are very important. We need to promote the seminars and get the seminars and people. We need to be getting on YouTube, big YouTube channels, just to tell them to come and see us on Rumble. We need to do all these things and keep promoting. And they don't like what we're doing, right? Because it literally puts them on a back path. Simon Lacey, how you doing, son? Anyone else out there? Simon A up, Jules A. Don't forget to subscribe, share as many of these platforms as possible. Yeah, definitely. Right, so again, a bit of housekeeping. Hit the subscribe to this channel. If you subscribe, you're pushing this up. If you share, and especially if you use the links in there, people will see it. And here's the crucial part, sharing is caring, right? If you, listen, this is about self-determination. We're not interested in having a go at the Scots, the Welsh, the Irish, or the Cornish. We're about self-determination. You know any groups in Cornwall, right, that want to be independent, self-determination, we're with them. We're not against them. We're not going to fight them. We're not going to be nasty to them. Any of them things, we absolutely agree. And the same for Northern Ireland, right? The Northern Irish are so well aligned with the English, right? They're more English than the English, right? King Billy, everything. Line up. Proper loyalists, right? Not unionists. The unionists are a different breed of people, and they're not a bit of us. And they're certainly not King Billy's. Hopefully, I'll be back out in Northern Ireland as soon as I can. We're now at 100 likes. So hit the like button, right? The like button is there for a reason. Hit it, right? Get this message out there. So I'm hoping I've answered quite a few of these questions. Coming back on here, let's have a look and see if there's anything else. Let me have a look. Let's go all the way to the bottom. Question. Hang on, let me hit this button so I can raise it up properly. Let's hit this button. Question. Can a local ruling turn into a national fraud election investigation? What does that mean? Can a local ruling national fraud election investigation? Yeah, if I said so. Let me just make sure I'm clear on this. This, whilst the trial, if that's what you're talking about, in Runcorn and Helsby, it's the equivalent of a national. It's a national trial that everyone in the country will be looking at, because they want to know what the truth is, and the truth is that it was a fraudulent election. So they will then, the judges can order all sorts of things. You will not believe what the judges can order, right? But and the Department of Public Prosecutions are going to be sitting there listening to it. So it's not a Mickey Mouse thing. It's very serious, right? I know you all know that, but you probably don't know as much as what I know. And I don't mean in a non-positive situation. There's lots of things that can happen. Rod's constitutional talk. Kara, first flag of New Zealand. Kara, the first flag of New Zealand. Don Kelly, Rod's constitutional talk. He did a constitutional talk as a senator, I think. That's Rod Cullerton. If anyone wants to, Tim, if you can send me the video on that, I'll put it out so people will know who I'm talking about. So we are talking to other Commonwealth nations, right? English Commonwealth, so dominions rather than colonies. That's the whole point. So you're getting away from the imperial side, right? So if you talk to anyone in the Labour Party, we were anti-imperialist. So am I, right? I'm a normal working class geezer, but let me tell you something. If you think you're going to take people's taxes to pay you ponces, you've got another thing coming. It ain't happening, right? We want to take out the federal government, right? We've had enough of these leeches leeching off the working class, right? And we're clever enough to organise our own affairs. Any other questions? I'm waiting. The full English moderators. I'm seeing Lucy, I think, typing something as we speak. And then I'm going to start preparing after the show. Let me have a look at this. You won. So it was election. I'm not familiar with it. I had a little look. Was the election Sarah Poacher won by fraud? There is a trial. Right, so the other thing to tell everyone listening to this, I'm going to have to hit the dots again. I'll put it on there, right? The tester who is going to jump on and broadcast what's happening and who doesn't, that's going to sort the wheat out from the chaff. No, I absolutely agree. So the test is who's going to jump on this and broadcast what's happening. I agree. You're now going to see real alternative news, and UNN isn't that. All right. David Clues isn't who you think he is. Right. England is beating the heart of all common law constitutions. So Tracy Tourism has just said England is the beating heart of all common law constitutions. Absolutely 100% correct. So everyone should understand it. Steve Lomas, hello. Steve Lomas, are you out there? Any other questions before I say good night, God bless? The Constitution is the solution, right? Everyone out there listening to this now, right? I am showing you the real common law, the real Constitution of England. If there's corrupt judges, I don't think these judges are corrupt. I can tell you the judges are. I've spoke to someone today and told he went, ooh, right? And they started laughing. And I said, yes. So they can listen. These people know what's going on, right? DD, but they have been waiting for people to come along and start presenting these cases in the proper way. Because they can't do anything. They can't rule on something that no one's put a case to them. You've got to put the case and put it in the right context. And if you do that, and you stop all this, I'm a living man, read me your oath, and all that bullshit, right? They wouldn't be a judge unless they'd taken the oath. And the second thing is you insult that judge and you insult him on paperwork by saying, I'm a living man, I'm a living woman. Listen, you're a communist. Right, you don't, you, and the people who are advising you, get them to bail you out of trouble, right? Because you're in the shit, right? However, let me have a look at this. I don't know what that means. I'm doing this live as I'm speaking. Okay, right, there you go, people. I think that's the end. Is there anything else anyone needs me to say, do, otherwise? Right? Happy sailing, Graham, Captain Pugwash, thank you. And again, to Steve, if you want to ring me, you can. DD, will you be speaking to Andy, the Gabby Cabby, this weekend? Yes, hopefully Sunday. I'm going to send him another message and say I'll be on the boat and we'll go from there. I'll not be drinking on Sunday. So I should be. I don't want to go on his show pissed. I don't want to go on his show pissed, really. Yorkshire Militia, DD, Andy Gabby Cabby mentioned today was going to try and give you on this weekend. Yes, I will be on Andy the Gabby Cabbins over the weekend and I'll explain everything again. Have a great weekend. Thank you. What a shame. Spurs getting smashed. Night. God bless all. God bless everybody. You're fantastic people. Listen, none of this can be done without a fantastic audience, right? I've been banned on most platforms. For what reason? Because I'm English and because I know what the Constitution is, I know what the law is, and I try and represent you as this audience, as normal, everyday English, Scots, Welsh, Northern Irish, and Cornish. Get the message out there to people. That's the key thing, right? And once they understand the Constitution is the solution, we will take this country back in a big way, right? That's it. Good night. God bless. To everyone. Again, a big thank you to our friend who got this book for me, which I'll be reading on the boat, Constitutional Fundamentals with William Wade, right? And again, there's another big book. I'm going to get there, but I'm going to just show you this. And then I need to make sure I put everything. Listen, I'm going to take some stuff out there for Tim. But one of the things that we will be putting on my desk on the back of the yacht, right? My super yacht, it'll be these, right? So we're going to take something again. Thank you to Kay, because it's Kay who supplied this stuff, and it is absolutely wonderful. And we'll be putting this stuff out there, and everyone will be saying that is fantastic. So I'm going to roll that back up so they don't get all screwed up on the travel out there. And I might even take one of them to the bar and I'll get everyone going to me. What have you got them out there for? Right? But again, everything is going. I don't know what. Don't forget, this process is a proper constitutional process, and see it like that. That's it. Good night. God bless to everyone. Don't forget, people, we still need to raise the money for paying all this. It comes to £6,108 so far, right? And so far I've paid a chunk of that, and I need to get that back because there's things I've got to do with the money that I've paid it. But I've done it without me doing that. We wouldn't be here. And you've only got the 21 days to put it in. We started really early, bang, went in there, and I just want to make sure everyone's with it. Still got my flag from Runcorn in the window. Well done, son. That's it. Good night. God bless. See you all later. I am going to say good night. I'm off to Portugal. Superbock. Bye.